What's up, guys? This is Derekis, and this is Channel Zapped. Tonight, I'm going to be reviewing Naruto 669, which I'm just going to throw this out there now. This is the issue where Madara is pretty much. No, let me put this in a proper. This is the chapter where Guy rapes the hell out of Madara. This was this was a great chapter for all you Might Guy fans out there. This was a great chapter. We get to see Guy fully unleashed, fighting against Madara. You know, nothing. I mean, everything's on the line here, and he's opened the 8 gates. So we're continuing from last issue where they were teasing us like, "Oh, Guy is about to unleash this gate. No, Guy, don't do it. It's you're gonna die. You can't do this." He does it, and he just pretty much goes right in and just starts immediately tagging Madara's ass, and he he just kept tagging. It's just like boot to ass. He handed out an ass kicking that was just royally he demolished Madara in this chapter. And I look back at the previous fights with Madara and the five Kages, and I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, what the hell were you guys doing? I'm like, seriously, I'm like, Guy came in and just wrecked shop. I don't know what else to say about that. So we come in and we see Guy standing toe to toe with Madara, and he quite literally puts Madara on his ass, and Guy and man. And Madara is just laying there on the ground. It's pretty much he's like sitting there, like, let me sit here and think about what I've been doing with my life up until this point, because this ass kicking that I'm getting is ridiculous, um, and it's just I can't stop gushing about this. Honestly, it was great to see Guy at top form. Madara. He played defense this whole issue and this chapter, and there was nothing it looked like there was nothing he could really do, um, unless he was sitting back and just taking those licks, to get a bead on Guy's capabilities. Um, I don't think that was the case, um, but we'll see. Madara was able to analyze a lot of what Guy was doing, which was great. It's always good to see Madara's perspective on a fight, and he knows he's like, okay, 4 or 5 more of those kind of hits, that's gonna be painful. If he touches me directly or he hits me directly, that's like game over. So Madara, he acknowledges that Guy could pretty much end him. Um, that was cool. Plus I love the fact that Guy, it was like Madara gave a play-by-play, like when Guy was like, he did this thing where he was pretty much jumping on air, like I guess it was like compressed air, like he's just jumping on it like it's and just going higher and higher to reach Madara, because evidently Madara can fly. We established that a couple of issues back, um, and we get a small flashback. It's really like only 3 panels, which is good for Kishi because when he goes on flashback mode, it's just like, oh god, here we are, another flashback. But Gara was asking Kakashi, he was like, "Well, what's going on? What is Guy doing? What?" And Kakashi just pretty much said he was like, that move that Rock Lee did on you, back during the tuning exam. He was like, yeah, this is like the ultimate. This is the final stage of that technique. And Gaara was like, oh, okay. And he recognizes, he was like, man, it's a good thing Rock Lee didn't have that shit back when I was, back when we were in grade school, because he was like, he would have ended me. But Gaara, because of his changed ways and his infinite wisdom now, where he's talking, he empathizes and sympathizes um with Rock Lee, and he's like, he kind of feels sad, and he's expecting Rock Lee to feel sad, and he's like, it looks like he was about to console him, and Rock Lee was just like, no. He's like, I'm not sad. I'm not going to be sad for what my sensei is doing. He was like, this man is choosing to give his life in this way, and to feel sad or pity or anything like that would be a disgrace. It wouldn't really honor, it wouldn't honor the choice or the sacrifice that he's making. Which was really cool. There was another line like that in a movie, the first Captain America movie, and I don't know if you guys saw that movie or not, but anyway, it was when Bucky died, and Steve, Captain America, was in the bar, and he was just drinking. He was feeling sorry for himself. He was feeling sorry, or sad, down that his best friend, his more like brother, died. And Sharon Carter comes in, and she pretty much tells him, pretty much like, you did you respect him? Did you respect the decision he made? And he was like, yeah. He was like, then, well, she was like, if you respected the man, then respect and honor the decision that he made, and that the sacrifice that he made for himself. And for me, that's pretty much the same thing that Gaara is saying about the sacrifice that Guy is making during this war. Rock Lee understands the sacrifice. And if he goes, this is going to be 2 members lost from this team, Guy and Neji. They're the sacrifices of this war. So Rock Lee, he understands the price of war, and I think that was drilled into him. If anything, it was the loss of Neji that did that. Yeah, this was just, I don't know, this was just an awesome chapter. There's not much more that I can say about that, because it was really all fight. But there was you don't typically see Rock Lee feeling sorry for himself or feeling down about his capabilities, because he's come so far with what he has. But he pretty much says this line that he was like, he was cursing his lack of strength. And he was kind of feeling down about that, because he wanted to be able to contribute more and to be able to fight alongside Guy against Madara. And Minito pretty much tells him, he was like, no, be proud of where you are now, because of the sacrifice Guy is making. He's making it for you. And pretty much all of his comrades, that are still young, and he's trying to give them the chance to grow old. So this was pretty much, that was great. There's not really much more I can say about this chapter, because it was pretty much all fight until the very last panel. In the last panel, we get, well, spoiler alert, not that it matters now, Naruto waking up. But from what I saw, and what I'm assuming, I saw the water on the ground. So I'm assuming it's in that little Astral Genkuri dreamland place, inner mind dimension thing. And I'm thinking that's where he's going to be waking up, and he's probably going to end up having a conversation with, I guess, the Nine Tails, or possibly the Eight Tails, both possibly, or Obito could probably be there also, because if you remember Sasuke, he was able to jump into that plane um, way back when Naruto and Sakura first encountered him doing after the time jump. It was the first time seeing him since he left the village. So that'll be interesting to see, and I'm glad to get back to Naruto now. It was nice for a while, but I'm kind of missing the main character. I don't say that often, because Naruto is just, he's an inspiring kid, but he kind of gets on my nerves sometimes. So, but it's whatever. I love his endurance. He's very endearing and caring, and I'm ready to see more of him now. Yeah. So anyway, guys, that was pretty much this chapter. Feel free to comment, rate, subscribe down below. Check me out, social media. The links are up there. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Peace.